So I wanted to ask you guys something. What does a good life look like to you? Like, what does the word rich mean to you? Because I'm meeting a lot of people, as we all do. That's what life's about, relationships. And I find that there's many people that are financially rich or financially well off. They may have a well-paying job and a nice house and a car, but are they happy? Like, are they happy doing that? Are they happy leaving the house, leaving their kids, leaving their freedom to go and work a job or a role that is actually someone else's life purpose, someone else's dream, someone else's baby, to, you know, to neglect themselves in a way whereby they're not following their own true desires. Like, how many of you actually want more? I don't mean that in a financial way. I mean that, like, if you picture what your life would look like. Let's say everything is a blank, clean slate. So, for example, mine would be, I would live on a houseboat, like a really big houseboat. So it would be like just beautiful. Like, you'd wake up in the morning and you'd see the water, and it would just be so calm, and you'd hear nature, and you would just see ocean. That is my dream, part of my dream. Obviously, like, life is a journey, and we all start somewhere, and we're not in control of the hand that we're dealt. So that means that we're all in different situations, but we all have dreams, right? But what I want you to know is, it doesn't matter where you are, or it doesn't matter what hand you were dealt, because you can create whatever you want. So, like, sometimes you hear of people that have so much money and whatever else, right? And they lose it all, but they create it all back again. It's because of a mindset. It's because of how they think. It's nothing to do with external things, external influences. So, yeah, how many people are out there right now, and you're working on your dream or your purpose, or something that you really want to do? Doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're doing that is job related, but what I'm saying is, I think you owe it to yourself to give yourself the opportunity to pursue whatever it is that you're interested in, because that could then lead to it becoming your lifestyle, and you'd end up not working for whoever you may be working for, etc. I just think that it's really important that you give yourself the chance, because life it happens so quickly, and it's just, important to put yourself first and learn to say no to things, and you just to know that you are enough. And if you come from a place of fear instead of love and belief, your life takes a different path. Now, I know this because I've done it. I've done it numerous times, to be honest. And the lesson continues to show up until you've learnt it. The universe will keep giving you the same lesson over and over again until you realise. And that's what happened to me. I'll give you a real quick example. I was living in England, obviously now I'm in Australia. And I felt like, what is this all about? What is it? Why am I here? What is the point? I just felt like it was pointless. I knew deep down there was more, and I was like, God, I'm so much more than this. I'm meant for more than this. It was like my soul was dying. Like, I needed something else. And that something else was to feel like I am free, was to feel like I am creating, was to feel like I am loved, and all these different things. And where I was at, I wasn't feeling that. I was feeling scared. I was feeling depressed. Um, I was just not happy. I was like questioning everything. I was just like, what? I was just trying. I couldn't sleep. Do you know what? I couldn't even sleep. Um, couldn't even sleep. I couldn't eat. And I was basically limiting myself because of my view and my perception of myself and who I was at that time. I basically, came from a place of fear and thought, I don't know what to do. So instead of going inwards, I went outwards. And I think I actually asked my mom, actually. I said, Mom, I don't know what to do. And I remember her saying to me, you just need a bit of routine. You just need a bit of structure, because at the time I wasn't even working. Like I couldn't even bring myself to leave the house. Like I just, honestly, it was not a good place. Like I remember waking up, looking in the mirror and feeling physically sick. Not at the visual of myself, but at the feeling of anxiety. The level of anxiety I was feeling made me feel physically sick every day when I woke up. So that was a shitty place. So anyway, right, I'll try and speed this up a bit. So I listened to the advice given and I thought, okay, I'm going to go and get another job in a school, because before that I worked in a school, right? Like teaching, assistant teacher. So anyway, I went for this interview and I sat through this interview and they asked me the questions like, why do you think we should pick you? And why do you really want this job? And da 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 da. And honestly, I just bullshat. Is that even a word? I bullshat through the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, I really want this job because, it means this and it means I blagged it. I don't even think I'd slept the night before. I must have felt like shit as well. I remember feeling like, am I really here? Like, when you have that feeling where you think, is this really me doing this? Like, I was like an out-of-body experience. Like, I just thought, right, let's just get through the interview. I knew what I wanted. Like, I knew I wanted them to offer me the job, even though I deep down knew I didn't want the job. But anyway, I ticked the boxes and crossed the T's and whatever, and they offered me the job. I took the job in the school, and for a minute I was like, yay, my life's gonna be better. I've got some sort of structure, so at least it's gonna get me, into some sort of a routine. A routine of being a rat in a wheel. Anyway, so when I started the job, within a matter of days, I felt, because I'm an empath, right? I feel a lot. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like all the noise in the classroom and the disruption and the chaos I was just like, oh my God, I've gone from being like isolated in my bedroom and not leaving the house, right? And my friends posting notes under my front door. Even my partner at the time posted me a note under the door, because like it was like nothing was reaching me, To go from that to being in a job, a space that was just not where I was meant to be. I ended up in the bloody bathroom in a heap on the floor, just like crying, like I want to get out of here. But I felt the pressure. I felt pressure of needing to earn money. I felt the pressure of needing to change my feeling, change how everything was going. I felt like I needed to do something to change my situation. But that wasn't the answer. Anyway, I didn't learn the lesson. You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? I didn't learn the lesson. I 4 years ago moved to Australia. That was like on a whim. That was like a feeling, like a yearning of wanting more and needing to discover, and like a pulling to this country. It was weird. It was like I looked on the map and I was like, that's where I need to go. That's where I need to be. It's like the furthest place possible you could ever go. But yeah, I have so many stories and I've not scripted what I was going to say at all, and this is just free flowing. But yeah, like I ended up I loved it. The first year was great, and I just felt free and no responsibilities. I'd got a couple of grand in my pocket from having a bloody car crash in England, of all things. And anyway, so I felt like I had no pressure, which is why I was enjoying my time, because I just felt free, which is how I want to feel. And I ended up basically in a position where when it came to changing visas and stuff, and I was about to go into a student visa instead of a working holiday, I felt that pressure of, right, your income is going down and your outgoings are going up. and how are you going to afford it, and what course are you going to do, and if you want to stay in the country, how do you do that, and all these different things. And I just wasn't really, I was coming from a place of fear. So the jobs I was choosing were based on the reflection of myself, and I wasn't earning a lot per hour and all these different things, you know. So basically it was like so many boxes were not ticked, if you like. And then long story short, or real long story short, was that I ended up just like spiraling again, because it was all like, you know, I wasn't doing what I should have been doing, which was following my heart and following my calling. I was just trying to like, how do I cling on to this? How do I cling on to that? And it was all worst case scenarios in my head, and I was just going like this, like trying to cling on. And then, fucking hell, the whole thing came crumbling down. Can't sleep, can't eat. Back to the scenario a few years ago, same replay sort of thing, but this was like intensified. And I ended up in hospital. And it was not a pretty sight. This was just not so long back, a few years ago. So, this is why, okay, there is a point to this story. There is definitely a point to this story. This is why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing to try and help other people, because I honestly believe, hand on heart, deep down in my soul and every part of my being, that if you aren't doing something and you aren't living a life that makes you feel good, like you're contributing and helping people and creating and being free and all these things, like whatever it is for you that you need, I believe it can kill you, because it nearly did me a couple of times, like seriously. So you owe it to yourself to try. I'm not saying whatever you're doing, like job-wise, quit and do something and follow your heart, follow your dream. I'm saying build something, start looking into something, or start doing something that you enjoy and enjoy that and feel it. And like I started dancing when I come out of hospital. I started dancing. I felt so free and I loved it, and that's what I needed. I needed to be in that place, you know, where I had all those people around me, like just feeling like a part of something. And it was amazing. And that, guys, that came from a decision of love, not fear. I'm telling you that now, because I risked, you know, my visa being declined by changing my course again and everything. And it paid off because, like, I was being real. It's a beautiful story, actually. I could go on, but I'm not going to go on. But, yeah. So, come from a place of love, not fear. If it scares you, do it anyway. Just be real, guys. Be real, be honest, be true. Follow your dreams, follow your passion. I can't urge you enough to explore. It's like being a child, right? Think about this. Let's think about it like you've got a baby. You've had a baby and you want to nurture that child. You want to help it to grow and learn and explore and give it toys where it can play with them and see what it likes. Like, you've got to open up your toy box again. You've got to open up your toy box. If your lid's on, take the lid off and explore that box of goodies and see what the world has to offer, and then start putting time into it for yourself, because you deserve it. You are enough. Write it on your bloody mirror. You are enough. And don't give up, and don't let the fear eat away, or the anxiety. Don't let it eat away at you, because you're more than that. You're so much more than that. All right, have a beautiful day. Bye.